Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. Welcome back to my WWE Smackdown review. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. It's sponsored by Chris Mood, The Rad Brad. It's sponsored by my podcasters, Fightful Pro Wrestling, JD from New York, Solomon the Sound Off, Judd Allen, Good Might Work Commentary, and Denise Salcedo. I got more on the way, so enjoy the video. Hit that like button, leave a comment, splash that like. Enjoy this video. This will be like an hour and 10 minutes. Enjoy this live stream. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Just want to talk about Smackdown for a minute. Now we are going. Smackdown was 2 hours. I think they had like 3 matches on the show. There were some backstage segments I want to go through, but now we will talk about some news and rumors in AEW a little bit. Then we'll talk about Smackdown. Now Smackdown was only good because John Cena was there, CM Punk was there, Brock Lesnar came back. First time since SummerSlam, he attacked John Cena. The match is official, give me at Wrestle Palazzo. And then a returning AJ Lee. Yes, AJ Lee returned to WWE after 10 long years. After a decade. She came back, she got a big reaction, Monster Pop in Chicago. I think the match is going to be official pretty soon. AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at WrestlePalooza. The pay-per-view that's in 2 weeks. Now it hasn't been official, but it's going to be official. Probably Monday Night Raw. Alright, now let's go into what happened here on SmackDown. It finally happened. I think we all knew it was going to happen. It had to happen. It just made sense. Now, I did want to show you guys the other podcasters who are going to give their thoughts and opinions and their reviews. But first, let's talk about what else happened on SmackDown before we get further into it. Well, the only thing that mattered was that now the show opened up with a 40-minute segment and a match. It led to a match with John Cena and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn challenged John Cena. I don't think it was for the U.S. title. I think it was just a match. Now this entire thing lasted 40 minutes. John Cena made his final SmackDown appearance in Chicago. He had a great entrance. Monster Pop fans love Cena. Sami Zayn came out and interrupted him. He challenged him to a match. This entire thing took 40 minutes. It was a long segment, and then we got the match. The match was pretty good. Brock Lesnar until Brock came out. Oh, so it was for the U.S. title. Okay, it was an open challenge. Yeah, so it was actually it was kind of a throwback from 10 years ago. You guys remember 10 years ago when John Cena was the U.S. champion, he also issued an open challenge to Sami Zayn a long time ago. No, 10 years ago. And Sami Zayn, I think, got hurt because of Kevin Owens. 10 years, what different? 10 years later, Sami Zayn, the U.S. champion, he's issuing the open challenge to John Cena. They had a pretty good match to open the show. Match was pretty good until Brock Lesnar came out and interfered. He took out the ref. He F5'd Sami Zayn. He F5'd John Cena twice. And he walked away. He went backstage and said, "I'll see you at WrestlePalooza in 2 weeks, bits." So it confirmed John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I thought it would be for Crown Jewel, but it confirmed for WrestlePalooza. I don't know if it's WrestlePalooza or WrestlePalooza. I think it's WrestlePalooza, but they already announced the match, so it's going to be Cena and Lesnar. So maybe we'll see Cena on Raw, and we'll see Brock on Raw. Maybe to hype up the match can't just be the beat down here. Brock Lesnar levels Cena and Zayn with F5s. After that, we had a pretty good match with Aleister Black and Damian Priest. Black got the victory. He KO'd Priest with the Black Mass and won 1, 2, 3. He beat Priest. We had a vignette with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre prepare for war. That might be enough for WrestlePalooza because Cody Rhodes is not on the show. He wasn't on the show at all. He taking time off. He obviously selling the attack that Drew McIntyre gave to him a couple weeks ago, and he taking time off to take care of his wife because they had a second child. Or maybe Cody Rhodes might be taking time off to go film Street Fighter. Same thing that Roman Reigns is doing. But Cody wasn't on the show. So SmackDown needed a big third. You got Cena, Lesnar, Punk, you got AJ, Orton and McIntyre, and they prepared for war. Whether it's on SmackDown, it could be WrestlePalooza, I don't know. Alright, so let me get into these other podcasters here.
Real campus, real faculty, real value. As a global leader,
Alright, hold on. Now, before I get into my other podcasters, just want to show you this. Now, I want to get into the other podcasters here. Wait, hold on. Now, this is no DQ.
Sami Zayn said he wanted to continue that tradition with John Cena's approval. Cena thought it was a great idea. Cena started to leave. But then Zayn said that he wanted to give back to John Cena. He offered a title opportunity right there on the spot, and he told John Cena, if you want some, come get some. John Cena accepted the challenge. I'll see you at WrestlePalooza, bitch. And then right away, WWE had the graphics all ready to go. It's as if wrestling is scripted entertainment predetermined. They had the graphics up so quickly. I don't like when any company does this. I don't like when WWE does it. I don't like when AEW does it. Like, spread it out. Make it at least feel like this was something that happened on the fly and wasn't all part of the big plan, your big scripted plan. You know, wait like 15 minutes before you put up the graphic. I don't know. It's nitpicking, but it's the little things, which tells me the fact that they're not doing this for WrestlePalooza victory, stupid, was thrilled with it.
Alright, let's go into the podcaster, Joe Cronin.
And Jeff Jarrett hit her in the head with a guitar. Oh my God, Jeff Jarrett breaks a guitar over Taylor Swift.
Not highest common denominator that they were very, very happening here.
Yeah.
And I started to poke around. I had been hearing like there were pitches made. Now, pitches can happen, right? It's a fun story. Sometimes it materializes, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, not so much.
Well, anyway, she made that very clear. But also, I was told the needling.
AJ Lee, I have an incredible attachment to AJ Lee, so it'll be kind of fun, I think, to get a few experiences with her contributions to wrestling, but I can't wait to talk about them because she was a big, big piece of advancing women's wrestling, and there are a lot of fans now, as I am so old and reminded on a regular basis.
Insane. And I am very interested in how this translates to 2025 because I started to ask around the roster, right? And I'm like, none of these people, like, Natty was there, Naomi was there, but she's home now. Like, almost nobody was there when she is. She inspired this generation. You see, like, Kiera Hogan posting her Halloween costume, and Roxanne Perez had posted one as well. Like, this woman is just
wrestling between then and now. As much as I still have my criticisms,
it's because listen, this man has understood. He's watched what's going on. He understands he can be pulled off TV at a moment's notice. Guys, I was in, I think it was Tampa or something. Here's a fun one. You want to know how I found out specifically that Brock and they were really liked on that. Fantastic. I did. Shauna only.
Icon Tools complete every repair without giving an inch. Only at Harbor Freight.
If you're an illegal alien, this runway is your future. Because you're headed home. I'm the living hell out of Sami Zayn.
That's interesting. That should tell you something. Because I wasn't expecting that.
Saturday night.
In my business.
AJ, and she was. Oh my God, Becky, and how she ended up celebrating in the end with CM Punk. What a moment, man! How are you feeling after what you just saw?
Well, first of all, sometimes, just getting what you expect is very satisfying, right? And I know there were some people that were saying, like, why would it be spoiled, or why would you telegraph it this much? This is obviously a company that knows how to keep things under wraps, because the Seth Rollins injury angle worked and fooled everybody. The Brock Lesnar return came out of nowhere. I think there was a method to the madness of sort of building up the anticipation of the return for that payoff. And yeah, that certainly worked. You could feel the energy in the arena. You could feel the dynamics all hitting as they should. Even going back to Raw, the slap bit from Becky Lynch to CM Punk, continuing that on Smackdown, the crowd chanting for AJ Lee beforehand, CM Punk and AJ Lee together. And let me just say this, Becky Lynch is out of control good right now. She is my favorite wrestler in the world at this moment. She is so funny. Like, I crack up multiple times every promo that she's doing. She killed me, going through the list and calling out all the Chicago teams. She left the Bears off the list, who also suck, but we know that Seth Rollins roots for the Bears. So that's
why she left them out.
And
good one.
Kobe White of the Bulls is sitting there, and she's like, you suck so bad they're going to trade your ass. She has just been on a heater, and therefore, it only amplifies all this, because you throw her into the mix with Seth and his group, and you have her as the antagonist to the, AJ Lee and CM Punk dynamic. So I know there's going to be a lot of joy and jubilation around the return of AJ Lee, but let me give a shout out to Becky Lynch, who's killing it.
Dude, the whole entire thing. So you kind of mentioned WWE did this. This is one of those stories where I feel every single thing right now has been done right. We go back and we criticize the John Cena heel turn. We're like, we should have done this, and this part wasn't answered. How we felt about that, I feel the complete opposite about what we're seeing right now. From the moment that Becky Lynch joined the Vision and hit that low blow on CM Punk, to the Monday Night Raw attack where she was just slapping him and berating him, to the tease, to them not outright saying AJ Lee is coming out, to the actual moment, we got some more of Becky Lynch slapping CM Punk and going after him. Seth Rollins being this perfect coward heel all the way where the people are at, just so he wouldn't be next to CM Punk, and then finally getting AJ's moment where she goes out there. I feel like they are doing this story so good right now. This is one of those stories where I feel everything they've done, I've liked, it's made sense, and it has been done so well. I love, Robin, that we knew that AJ Lee was coming without them actually telling us that she was coming. I think that made it far more special and only added to AJ Lee's star power. And oh my God, I don't even know what parts to get into. My favorite parts, honestly, was just the whole element of how you have Seth Rollins, who is being such a coward, where even when his woman, his wife, was being attacked by AJ, and she was on the floor and she couldn't even get up, but because CM Punk was right next to her, he would not go over the barricade to go and help his wife up. Little things like that just made you go like, damn, how could you, Seth? How could you? And I thought AJ Lee looked tremendous. Can we talk about how she looked? She looked exactly the same, Robin.
Well, talk about a power couple, because you think about CM Punk and AJ Lee, and one thing they have in common is this extended absence where the anticipation about their return was there the entire time. When CM Punk wound up showing up in AEW, it was this like, whoa, it's CM Punk. And then when CM Punk wound up returning to WWE, after so it was like, whoa, it's CM Punk. And then now with AJ Lee, it's like, whoa, it's AJ Lee. Most people can't be away for that long and, you know, still have that much juice. So there's just a certain level of charisma that you must possess. And yeah, the way she came out with the bounce, and I'm kind of like bobbing to the song myself. Definitely a positive energy, positive vibe, and looks like she hasn't missed her planks.
No, oh my god, are you kidding me? She was glowing. I started thinking to myself, girl, I need to wear sunscreen some more. I need to drink some more water. Whatever AJ Lee is doing, please sign me up for all of it. Because she looked like $1 million, man. And I love the way that she went in, jumped in, attacked Becky Lynch, was getting her with all of the punches. It looked good. Everything looked good. And so that's why I love the execution on the story side, and I love the execution on the physical element of what we saw here. So, man, it's a feel-good mood right now to have AJ Lee back, and the fact that they actually delivered on the story the way that everybody hoped that they would. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into all of the super chats and see what everybody has to say about this. We got John Taylor who says, Mr. Denise, let me introduce you to my wife, the greatest content creator of all time, the man.
Anticlimactic if it's just like, oh, she's back and then she's gone again. I feel like, you know, CM Punk probably doesn't have the longest, you know, run left in him, if we're being frank and honest about it.
And now we're finally seeing that, so good for her, man. I'm so happy. Thank you, David Primero. We got Perfect Plex here. Says, I love how she kept her character. She's still not all there in her head. Yeah, we got to see like the psycho eyes when she was dragging gold, man. They're just like like it really, I don't know how to explain this. They feed off of each other so well and fit into their roles and the story that they're trying.
There's been argue.
Thank you so much, McTara. We got Brandon Rosen here who says this was everything I wanted. I think the AJ pop was louder than a road. Like your son. He's hearing all of this hype, but he also has a match on top of that because there's still so many people we want to see him face. Like people still want to see him face Dominic, Braun. I don't think all of those are going to happen, but at least people still want them. So we'll see what we get out of this. But this is where we're at with John Cena dates and what we have left. So September 15th, Raw in Springfield, Massachusetts. September 20th, WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis. November 10th, WWE Raw in Boston. That'll be his last show in Boston, by the way. November 17th, Raw, New York City. October 11th, Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. November 29th, Survivor Series here in San Diego. And then December 13th, Saturday night's main event, his last match. The location is still TBD. However, I believe there's a report that just came out. Let me pull it up 1 second. So there's a report going around that the final Saturday night's main event that John's going to be at his last match is taking place at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. However, this is not officially confirmed. This is just a report. So take it or leave it however you please on that. Don't die by it because you never know. But that's the report in place as of right now.
I mean, look, at this point, it's feeling good. It feels like it's going to end well and will allow us to do the, Men in Black mind erase of the heel turn.
And bye, everyone.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
Even when you tried to outrun yourself.
Ruthless. With some of this wrestling crap. I don't like that. Thankfully, we had plenty of commercials on tonight's show to outnumber all the minutes of wrestling that we actually got. So we were in good shape. WrestlePalooza, we had Commercial Palooza here tonight. How terrified must they have been to format the show in the way that they did? They were so terrified of running out of time at the end of the show for the AJ Lee closing segment that just the way they formatted the show, I cannot remember an episode, honestly, of SmackDown or of WWE television that was this bad when it came to the number of commercials and just the things they were interrupting at various points in the show, especially in that opening match that we had after the opening segment. But my God, in between all of those commercials, though, were a couple of great segments and some not so great segments. Unfortunately, we had that as well. Actually, very forgettable segments. But what everybody was talking about coming into this show here tonight was the return of AJ Lee actually going to happen? There were people who didn't believe. I'll believe it when I see it, right? I mean, in 10 years, this woman hasn't been back on television in 10 years. She doesn't want to come back. If she wanted to come back, she would have been at Evolution. If she wanted to come back, she would have been in the Royal Rumble one of these years. Leave her alone. She's done. She's retired. But anybody who's been watching the television shows over the last week or two, it was plain as day, this could only be leading to one possible outcome. Anything else would be a disappointment, and WWE knew that, and they would have to be fucking idiots to set it up any other way. And so even on Monday night, when CM Punk said to Adam Pearce, "Where's Smackdown on Friday?" and Adam Pearce had to remind him that Smackdown was in Chicago, he said, "Tremendous." And you knew at that point what they were setting up for. They had a packed house in Chicago at the Allstate Arena tonight, over 16,000 people chanting this woman's name long before she even came out to the ring. They were chanting her name on Monday as well. And the way they set things up here at the end, we had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. We don't get enough Seth Rollins on Mondays. We had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. CM Punk was in Chicago. And it was all to build to the return of his wife, the former Divas champion, for the first time since 2015 back on TV. AJ Lee is back. And in Chicago, of all places, it was the perfect setting for something like this to happen. This was like her first dance. Remember, Punk got that at the United Center. This was like her first dance. She came out. Thankfully, no Def Rebel special yet. But she came out, she got a monstrous, just insane reaction from the crowd in Chicago. Looking great, not looking all that different from the way that she walked out in 2015, skipping on down to the ring. Becky Lynch selling this like she just saw a fucking ghost. And AJ Lee getting in the ring, mixing it up with Becky Lynch, setting things in motion for what we know is coming at WrestlePalooza, although not yet announced, a mixed tag team match with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch taking on CM Punk and AJ Lee, a perfect attraction for that show. And I don't know how long she's going to stick around for. I would think it's more than just a one-off, but even if it was just a one-off, this was the perfect scenario for her to come back. And you know, as far as what tempted her to finally come back after all this time, because Punk has been asked about this in interviews and podcasts over the years, when's AJ coming back? When's your wife going to come back? And he's always, you know, clearly he wanted her to come back, but always gave the same basic answer where it's up to her. It's not my call to make. It's up to her. If she wants to come back, if she wants to get back involved, she'll be back. And if not, then she won't. But you wonder if it's not money and it's not fame and it's not the allure of coming back, but it could just be a simple situation where she gets to work with her husband on TV. It could just be as simple as that. And for both of them, I'm sure this is just the most desirable position to be in here, because now they get to work together on TV and have fun. And that's what that closing segment was. That closing segment was a lot of fun. They gave people the happy ending that they were hoping for. The worst kept secret in wrestling? Absolutely. But, you know, for the people who were going to say, man, I wish they would have kept it a secret, there was no way. The fans were chanting this woman's name for over a week. The fans were willing it into existence. You would have to be an absolute moron to not have AJ Lee on the brain, either because the fans have been chanting her name and they've acknowledged it on TV, or just simple common sense. The way this story was building, it was inevitable, but it didn't take away from the moment. You listened to that reaction, that pop when her music hit and she walked out, it didn't take away from the reaction at all. And that will go down as one of the more memorable segments in SmackDown history. Now, also on this show, speaking of memorable moments, John Cena has made some memorable moments in Chicago. John Cena has made some memorable moments in that very building that they were in tonight. And this was it for him. this was not only his final hurrah in Chicago, but he confirmed that this was his last Smackdown, which kind of gives away some of the names he won't be working with in the few matches he has left. And his final match, which is coming up in December, I thought Drew McIntyre would make for a good opponent for him in one of these upcoming matches, and that doesn't look likely at this point, because how are you going to do that if this guy isn't even going to appear on SmackDown? Doesn't mean that they can't still have him wrestle someone from SmackDown, but if Cena's not going to be on the show, it just makes it difficult. So this was it for him tonight. You talk about going out there and getting a reaction. Punk got a reaction. AJ Lee got a reaction. John Cena got a reaction. Sami Zayn got a reaction that was not the reaction I was expecting. We'll talk about that. But the John Cena stuff at the beginning of the show set up an impromptu match. We don't get these very often from him on TV. He actually wrestled. And not only did he wrestle tonight, he wrestled for a championship. We had not one but two United States Championship matches on this show in Chicago tonight that we will be talking about. And the John Cena stuff, including the match that he had with Sami Zayn, were the best parts of the show. Opening segment, or opening match / segment, and the closing segment. That was it. That was SmackDown tonight. Everything else in the middle just felt completely inconsequential. And the commercials didn't help. I mean, they really did just butcher almost the entire show. And I understand they can't be avoided, but my God, it was as bad as it's ever been. Everything in the middle, and we'll talk about the other U.S. title match as well on the women's side, and what a shame that whole just situation is right now. But there was really nothing else on this show that anybody is going to be talking about outside of AJ Lee and John Cena. Those are the two key things right there. And we're going to talk about that, as well as Brock Lesnar, who also made an impromptu appearance on the show tonight and ruined what was a great United States Championship match. This is your Friday Night SmackDown review for Friday, September 5th, 2025. I'm the Solid Monster. Thank you guys for joining me here on a Friday night. Always the best way to end the week. Like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. And by the way, for those of you wondering, the little clip there at the beginning of the show, a little confrontation, a little run-in with one Bully Ray. Last shit that he has done, right? And everything they put on his shoulders, and they made him the guy, and all the different matches that he's had, and the injuries, and everything that goes with having a long run on top the way that he did. It's got to mean something, because now he knows, he's only got, a little over half a dozen appearances left. And even less than that when it comes to actual matches. Things are winding down. They just announced today, his final Madison Square Garden appearance, coming up on November 17th. His final Boston appearance, which will not be his retirement match, because that was the belief that they were going to be doing that last Saturday night's main event in December in Boston, and that is not the case. It sounds like that show is going to be in D.C. and not in Boston, so that was interesting. So anyway, he's taking the time to really absorb it and try to enjoy it when he comes out. And he thanked the crowd for their kindness. He recalled when his farewell tour first began and people told him to enjoy it and have fun. And he said he was coming off a lot of bad years and he needed to get his mojo back, and he focused on leaving everything he had in the ring to prove to himself that he can still do it. He said tonight he had no plan. He came out here with no plans on what he was going to do, no plans on what he was going to say. He's going to wing it. And so that's why he was here tonight. He wanted to take it all in and have fun. He said what makes tonight special is looking out into the crowd and seeing people excited. When years ago, he might have heard something a little bit different. Maybe some F.U. Cena chants. Cena told the crowd they were in for an exciting night, and he reminded them that this was his last time here in Chicago and his last appearance ever on SmackDown. Cena recalled 20 years ago walking to the ring on SmackDown and smacking Kurt Angle in the face, and how it all started this crazy ride. He recalled his favorite memories from Chicago, including wrestling Triple H. That would have been at WrestleMania 22. Or that Bret Hart was there that night. Basically asking for Cena's blood.
Alright, let's watch JD from New York.
Oh,
Alright, let me show you another podcaster. I'm gonna let him in the chat. JD from New York. I want to show you guys give his reaction and thoughts on Smackdown tonight.
My mother and my grandmother and my great-grandmother, my aunts as far back as
Hold
I
on.
can remember.
Lately. So, lost all credibility, JD. Yes, my bank account is crying a river of tears after the most successful year already, and we're not even through September yet. Get him the fuck out! Get him out! Your mother lost credibility because she wasn't sloppy enough for me. Get him the fuck out! The Polish sausage! And best in the world, Matt, with two $100 super chats tonight on the Smackdown post show. We'll start with the Polish sausage. Let's start this off hot. What's up, JD and OTS family? Cheers to you. And we got my guy, best in the world, Matt, coming in here. Just got out of Smackdown in Chicago. AJ Lee was the biggest return in women's wrestling, in my opinion. Other matches were good, but let's be real. Everyone knew why we showed up tonight. John Cena and AJ Lee, much love as always, OTS fam, and see you Monday live in Milwaukee.
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got two words for you.
Thank you guys very, very much, man. Keep that energy up. I love it. I love it. That's why this is the #1 fucking live stream in the entire... Becky Lynch joined the Vision. She low-blowed CM Punk. And that's really all it took to get people running wild with rumors. I was very guilty of that because as soon as the match was over, I'm like, that only means one thing, bro. That only means one thing. I'm going to throw it out there, and if it's exactly what I think it is, then great. If not, I guess fuck me then. Monday night, 2 days later, we got a showdown between CM Punk and Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw that even further lit the fuse, light it up. It got everybody talking even more so because Becky actually put her hands on CM Punk and Punk did not lay a finger on Becky Lynch. Those words at the end of the promo, you're gonna regret ever putting your hands on me. There's been other things that we've seen on social media via house show clips and something that I seen dating back to May with the Vision backstage on Monday Night Raw. The words "Light It Up" written on a poster board backstage in the locker room on Monday Night Raw during one of the Vision's segments. CM Punk skipping in the ring like his wife usually does at house shows and just having a good time. One of the more egregious things right in front of us was CM Punk picked up a sign in the fans at Clash in Paris that had AJ Lee's name on it. CM Punk, please bring back AJ Lee. He took it. Out of all the signs, he took that one. Well, all the rumors, all the speculation, all the chatter became a reality tonight, folks. AJ Lee is back in the WWE after 10 years. August 20th, 2021. AEW welcomed CM Punk back into the world of professional wrestling. AEW Rampage, the first dance, which, believe it or not, is now a canceled entity on TNT. Goes to show you how low we've gotten in 4 years. AEW Rampage, the first dance, August 20th, 2021, United Center, Chicago, Illinois, 16,000 plus. Nearly filled the United Center on a rumor
that CM Punk would be coming into the company. He did indeed show up, and it was one of the greatest returns of the modern era.
Thank you.
It's probably the greatest moment in AEW history. 4 years later, CM Punk is back in the WWE. He returned after 10 years being away. AJ Lee, 10 years being away from WWE, returns tonight, September 5th, 2025, in Chicago at the Allstate Arena. And everything surrounding her appearance was based on rumor and speculation, just like the first dance was for CM Punk and AEW, man. You can't script that shit. You can't script that shit any better. I don't really know what you guys want me to say on top of me emitting my excitement for it. She looks incredible. She looks better today than she did 10 years ago. In every sense of the word. I would be lying to you if I told you I didn't have a tear or two come down my face, because not only was I happy for her, I was happy for CM Punk as well. You just saw how happy he was. It was written all over his face. Good for him. It's all he ever wanted to be, is happy. She looks incredible. This tag team match has instantly sold WrestlePalooza. If this was the only match on the card, it will still be just that, must-see TV. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee and CM Punk in Indianapolis, September 20th, WrestlePalooza. First show for WWE, being removed from Peacock, now on ESPN. This is going to be one of the biggest shows that WWE put on in the last 10 years. This entire show was centered really around what opened and what closed. Other than that, this was a very forgettable Smackdown. Which goes to show you how fucking subpar this show has gotten. The one thing that I took notice of is not only how incredible she looks, but everything she did in that ring being away for 10 years looked crisp. She didn't do much. She skipped around, did not miss a beat as far as body language and mannerisms. She got an incredible holy shit chant that, of course, USA Network had to bleep out and ruin the moment. Hopefully WWE uploads it in its entirety, censor-free. Crowd melted the Allstate Arena when she came out. Skipped around. Punk was smiling from ear to ear. She gets in the ring. She sits on the ropes. She does everything that you remember back in the day, 10 years ago. And like I said, she didn't do much, man. A couple of Luthez presses, some punches, ground and pound on Becky Lynch. And she did the signature licking of the palm and slapped Becky Lynch right in the face as a retaliation for what Becky did to her husband. Not only on Monday, but again here tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. All the while Rollins had to watch in horror that CM Punk finally got one over on him after a few losses lately to Mr. Visionary. This was an incredible moment. An absolutely incredible moment. The thing is, you guys are watching me here. We're in front of 3,000 people live to share in the excitement of AJ Lee. I do have some criticisms, though. I don't know how long AJ Lee is back. To be brutally honest with you, I don't really give a shit. If she's back for this one match and one match only, God bless her. It doesn't matter. We got a moment, we got a match, it fits the story. Everything about her arrival and her inclusion makes sense. I don't care if it's a one-and-done deal. Because it's a one-and-done deal where she fits into the story perfectly. And it's all leading to Rollins and Punk one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship when the time is right. This is just a side quest before we get there. I do have one major criticism. And this is something that I've said this week and last week leading up to this potential match at WrestlePalooza. AEW is basically killing themselves. WWE knows when they have a wounded victim in front of them. I would love if WWE actually gave us television that felt this exciting every single fucking week. I know that's not possible. I know that's not realistic. I just don't like the fact that we've had to sit and sit and sit and sit and sit and sit, which we did tonight through fucking commercials. There were more commercials tonight than there was in-ring wrestling. I don't like that we have to sit month after month, week after week on Friday. And this show feels literally like the worst fucking show on television every week. Before tonight, this show has not been exciting. Before tonight, this show has not been watchable. Before tonight, this show was largely forgettable. Every single week. Ever since they left Fox, WWE has made Smackdown an unforgettable fucking disaster every single Friday. It is the most boring fucking show on television, borderline Dynamite level. And that's fucking bad, bro. That's bad. Of all the nights to make not only a memorable moment, but one of the most must-see Smackdowns, literally, in the last 2 years. I don't know why it took WWE to bring AJ Lee back to make this show must-see, captivating, interesting, exciting television. If WWE put their fucking hatred and their pettiness for AEW aside and just worried about what they need to do, knowing that AEW is a wounded fucking animal and it'll probably bleed out and die on its own, which it is right now, quickly. If they worried about themselves and worried what they have to do every single week and focused on putting quality television in front of us every Monday and every Friday, we would be in a better place. I don't like the fact that WWE, all because WrestlePalooza was born 3 weeks ago on September 20th. I don't like that this show basically came out of nowhere and WWE is throwing Big Gun Brock Lesnar out there, Big Gun AJ Lee out there, Cody's probably gonna be back. Indianapolis, sold out, ESPN. If WWE did this every single PLE, we would be in a good place right now. Why are they giving us better television lately? Why are they giving us better television than they have all year? Because AEW has a show on the same day that they have opted to counter-program. Why are they putting on their best TV? Why are they putting their best foot forward? All because they want to counter-program AEW. It makes you wonder where their true intentions are. Is AEW down that bad? Or is AEW a much-needed presence in the world of pro wrestling to a point where it makes WWE step up their game? I don't know if it's that. If AEW was putting on their best television, which they clearly are not, 472,000 is hardly their best television. Worst rating in the history of Dynamite in 2025. I don't care how you cut it, man. That's not good. And yes, we should not be focused on the ratings. We should not care about the ratings. But when the ratings are that low...
Okay.
I wish WWE put on their best television without the desire to basically harm AEW further. AJ Lee, Brock Lesnar, and everything else that's coming on September 20th is going to be a treat. But I genuinely hope that there's more to putting on great television than just counter-programming AEW. The other thing that I see happening on social media in regards to this, and I'm sure it's going to be accelerated even furthermore after today, coming on into this show, a lot of people from that side, the AEW side, all of a sudden starts spreading the narrative of, oh, AJ Lee is overrated. Oh, AJ Lee, there's nothing special. Oh, WWE dipping into their nostalgia pool all over again. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. Same unintelligent fucking garbage from the AEW sickos every single time something happens on WWE television that they clearly don't understand. This is a wake-up call for everybody on the AEW roster. This is a wake-up call for Tony Khan. This is a wake-up call for all the sickos that watch weekly, which is dwindling week by week. 472,000 with a 18 to 49 demo, sub 0.11. CM Punk is still and forever will be your biggest star. There is not one star on that show that is equal to the amount of star power CM Punk brings to national television. Not one. You could put everybody in a fucking blender all together and you still wouldn't be able to mix all these stars on AEW television. You would not be able to blend all of their star power to equal one CM Punk. CM Punk was driven out of the company after a monumental return on August 20th, 2021. United Center, First Dance, Rampage, which is now canceled, by the way. Everything's great in AEW, but Rampage, the show that CM Punk debuted on, canceled. CM Punk still is and forever will be their biggest star. Everybody in that company drove him out of the entire brand. For what reason? For what reason? Oh, WWE is bringing back AJ Lee for nostalgia, bro. JD. Yeah, that's great. I'm sure if AJ Lee debuted on fucking Dynamite in front of 750 people, everybody would be fucking jerking each other off. All the sickos would be fucking bending over backwards, sucking each other off. Right? Absolutely right. You drove this one man out of the company, and you sided with Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. And of all people, who hasn't been on television all fucking year, you actually sided, and I have no problem with him at all. I'm actually a fan. You actually sided with Jungle Jack Perry. I don't want to hear any of the sickos cry, bitch, moan, complain, and fucking belittle anybody. You should be belittling the fucking guy that you put your faith and hope and trust in every single week. He was the one who made the decision to fire CM Punk. I guarantee you, I put my fucking name on it. If CM Punk was as happy as he is today in AEW, if he was still in AEW, and he was there making sure the television was fruitful and substantial and right, and most importantly, creative, I guarantee you, this is a moment that AEW could have had, and CM Punk would have brought back his wife after 10 years to All Elite Wrestling. No doubt about it. when you hear, oh, it's nothing more than a nostalgia trip, oh, she's overrated, oh, she's this, oh, she's that, it means nothing, blah, blah, blah. These are people that are living in a sea of denial, and they don't know how to swim to shore, bro. They live in denial. Every single one of them. All 472,000 of them. They don't know how to handle when they see something that was basically gifted to them succeed elsewhere. Everything is, oh my God, woe is me, oh my God. Everything's against AEW. Bro, if Tony Khan did the right thing and ran a fucking business, he would have chosen their biggest star over fucking Jungle Jack Perry, who hasn't even been on fucking television. Jack Perry ain't drawing a fucking dime. He's not drawing flies to shit. Neither are the Young Bucks, which, by the way, if you look at the metrics, every time they're on TV, the ratings are fucking disaster. So again, tell me, why exactly are you upset that AJ Lee is back on WWE television? Is it because you don't have her? Is it because you don't have CM Punk on your television? Is it because that Tony Khan is a failed leader and someone who has basically lost all credibility with everybody, including the boys? AEW is nothing more than a fucking money pit and a goddamn hobby for Tony Khan, a 43-year-old, single, middle-aged man who doesn't know how to fucking run a business, four-eyed geek, who drove out their biggest star in hopes that he would get the company back on track without him. And the company has bombed ever since they fired him. In fact, their greatest dynamite, ratings-wise, was one that CM Punk appeared on in backstage footage with Jack Perry. Because they aired it trying to sell it as a storyline, but they were basically petty bitches who wanted to get back at CM Punk to show the world that he was a coward because they were upset with comments he made on Ariel Helwani's podcast. All of this tonight could have been yours. All of this tonight could have been Tony Khan's. You have Tony Khan to thank, chat. You have the Young Bucks to thank, chat. You have Adam Page, the current AEW World Champion, to thank, chat. You got Colt Cabana to thank, chat. You got Jungle Jack Perry to thank, chat. What does this have to do with AJ Lee coming back? Everything. It has everything to do with AJ Lee coming back. AEW is a dying product. No matter what you want to think or not. AEW is certainly changing the game. Absolutely. They changed completely from 2 years ago to a point where they're worse off than WCW ever was. The ratings are absolutely fucking disastrous. Everything's great in AEW. By the numbers, they are not. This all could have been yours. So when you hear, oh, it's nothing more than a nostalgia trip, oh, she's overrated, nobody is saying that AJ Lee is the greatest female professional wrestler of the modern generation. Nobody ever did, and nobody ever will say that. But if you deny AJ Lee's importance to women's wrestling, including all the women that currently exist in AEW, if you deny AJ Lee's importance to women's professional wrestling, who do you think got a social media trend started on Twitter so that the women get better television? Who do you think that was? Charlotte? Nikki Bella? Alexa Bliss? Mercedes Moné? Who was it? It was AJ Lee. Give women a chance is what got trending. Who do you thank for that? Her. And as soon as that got up off the ground, where exactly did we go, chat? We went from Divas belts to proper belts in the women's division, and an NXT women's division was born, that basically bred the same women's wrestling that you get today, that is now all over the place in main events across the world. A division that is now born probably the most popular superstar in all of pro wrestling when it comes to women's wrestling, Rhea Ripley. Who do you have to thank for that? The woman that showed up tonight to confront Becky Lynch, that made her return after 10 years. So when you want to dumb down AJ Lee because you can't cope with losing your top star still to this very day, when you want to dumb down AJ Lee and call her overrated and nothing more than nostalgia, you are absolutely a clueless, fucking, brain rot fucking idiot. In every sense of the word. You don't know shit. You should not be talking about pro wrestling. You're nothing more than an engagement farmer with a fucking brain cell shared between all 472,000 of you and dwindling week by week. Can't wait for the ratings to go up next week to 550,000 and the sickos will be running laps around each other, celebrating as if they did 1.5 million. That's how fucking unintelligent they are. Don't listen to these absolutely fucking cave-ridden trolls who haven't showered in 7 fucking days. If you don't believe me, watch Dynamite on Wednesday and see the fucking disaster that is the ECW arena.
No one can tell these glasses project content right in front of me to cheat on exams and casinos like James Bond. You get Google Maps right in front of you, so you'll have to look at your phone. By just looking up, you activate widgets that you can set up, and I put the price of Bitcoin. Gotta stay on it, right? And my favorite is the teleprompter. I add text here so I can read my script just like I'm doing now. There are more stuff like ChatGPT and real-time translation, but at the end of the day, I charge it wirelessly like this. I think it has my prescription too. It's the most luxurious, comfortable, stylish piece of cutting-edge tech that became part of my life now. The Even G1 keeps me productive while connected because
Wednesday, in every sense of the word, it was great to see her back. Whether she's back tonight, or for WrestlePalooza only, or if this is more of a part-time deal and she's back, and she's going to give us more than what we are anticipating at WrestlePalooza. I'm glad that she's back. She looks great, she looks rejuvenated, it's the right time for it to happen, and there's no better place than WWE for this to happen. Because at this point, between me and you, chat, AEW doesn't deserve a fucking dime from anybody to view their own show until they make the appropriate changes to get the man in charge, who's absolutely killing the fucking company, out of the current position that he's in right now. AJ Lee looks incredible, and I'm so fucking happy she's back in WWE. She got signed, huh? She's back for a while. This must have been reported when we were live. We will find out what that is. Chat, let me know what is going on as far as AJ Lee. Who are you hearing this from, and where can I find it so we can talk about it tonight? We're going to go over this show tonight. Thank you very much for all of your support. This is your Friday Night Smackdown post-show right here on Off the Scripts. I'm, of course, JD from New York. Thank you guys very much for joining me. We're going to get into this. 3,200 people here tonight. Live. You know it's big when SmackDown and the post-show gets over 3,000 plus. Tonight, we're sponsored by our great friends over at BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/script. You guys can get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/scripts. They are the largest online therapy provider in the world. And BetterHelp provides access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Tonight we're sponsored by BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/script. Follow me on social media at JD4MNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all of the content on the channel currently. There are extras, there are videos during the day galore. We were live on Monday for Raw. Tuesday night, Titans with the Solid Monster. Episode 110 live. And Chesty and I killing the game on Wednesdays with the AEW Dynamite post show. Our post shows are more exciting than the actual show on Wednesday night on TBS. Go check all that stuff out. Got a video coming tomorrow. We go over the very sad details about the downfall of Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle supposedly stole money, took a deposit from an independent pro wrestling company and refused to pay it back, as this company supposedly ran a charity event and he blasted fans and the company online in some sort of weird miscommunication. And in the same breath, he called CM Punk a creep for creeping around the NXT women's locker room, and he called AJ Lee a whore. That's tomorrow's video. I don't think you guys are going to want to miss that one. So make sure you guys tune into that. It's already uploaded. I may upload it for you guys member-wise. All my VIPs may get it early. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Hit that thumbs up. We need 125 more likes. Or almost at 900. 125 more likes for 1,000 likes. And super chats are open. Get them on in. We got some bombs tonight. Make sure you guys get them on in, man. I appreciate all the energy. So make sure you guys get them on in tonight, right here on Off the Script. The super chats are open. We will hang out at the end of tonight's live stream. Matt Riddle needs better help. Yes, Matt Riddle needs better help, bro. Absolutely. That's a great segue, man. I like that. I like that. Triple H tweet JD. Let's go to the socials, folks. Let's go to the socials. Triple H tweeted something out. You can always come home. Welcome back at the AJ Mendez. 46 minutes ago, already 40,000 likes. Oh my goodness, man. That is fucking crazy. AJ Lee signed. Oh, here we go. This is from Triple H. Also, AJ Lee signing her WWE contract, ink to paper, the calm before the storm. You mean to tell me that they didn't have the cameras rolling for WWE Unreal Season 2, folks? Absolutely. Seth Rollins and his cash in at SummerSlam will be a part of Unreal Season 2. AJ Lee coming back to WWE will be a part of Unreal Season 2. Brock Lesnar and the secretive return of him at SummerSlam will be on Unreal Season 2. You see what WWE's doing, folks. You see what WWE is doing. Smackdown. We started things off the only way we know how, and that is John Cena. John Cena's last Friday night Smackdown ever. The last appearance on Friday Night Smackdown for John Cena. There was news today in regards to John Cena and where he will be for his retirement at the end of 2025. John Cena's final match now officially has a location. The original plan was for a Boston farewell, which had been in place for some time. It was first mentioned publicly by Cena's own father in an interview with local Boston media. The initial reports on December 13th, Saturday night's main event also had the show pegged at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. The reason for this pivot by WWE is currently unknown. The change now is that Cena's farewell is slated to take place on December 13th, Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Arena. Now, this was actually reported today by WrestleVotes. They put it out there. TC from WrestleVotes, shout out to him. He actually had me take a couple of stabs in the night on it. I thought that they would counter-program it with something AEW, but I was completely off. I did not, and I don't think anybody really had guessed Washington, D.C. Now, apparently the reason why it's not Boston, Massachusetts is there is some political garbage going on with WWE and the city of Boston. Apparently, WWE, for events like this that are going to garner a massive audience, WWE, unlike AEW, where Tony Khan pays the venue and pays the city to bring AEW in, not the other way around, WWE shopped John Cena's retirement match and his final match for the event around, and Boston apparently did not pony up the money. Washington, D.C. was the number one bidder, and apparently that is what really broke everything down. So TD Garden, no more. Washington, D.C. is now the new place for John Cena's farewell match, against whom we don't know. I personally want it to be Gunther. The way John Cena is wrestling right now, I think that would be an unbelievable farewell match for John Cena, in a losing effort, honestly. Gunther beats John Cena. Gunther becomes the new legend killer. He takes John Cena's retirement, and it's almost like Energon for the fucking Autobots and the Decepticons, man. He just takes it, he fucking harvests it, and he goes on to do bigger and better things. That's what I hope for. Now, there are others on the list that I would love to see him wrestle. Drew McIntyre being one of them. That could also be a great farewell match. AJ Styles, I'd love to see it. I don't think it's happening. I think Cena said it's also not happening. I don't know how many of these matches we have left. Lesnar's the next one on September 20th. That was made official tonight. But John Cena's schedule is very, very slim. After tonight in Chicago, he's got 9/15, September 15th in Springfield, Monday Night Raw. September 20th, WrestlePalooza, Indianapolis. Crown Jewel, October 11th in Perth. Monday Night Raw, November 10th in Boston. So that will be his last time in Boston, Monday Night Raw on November 10th. November 17th at Madison Square Garden for Monday Night Raw. Survivor Series, November 29th in San Diego, and then Saturday night's main event, that's December 13th in Washington, D.C. So looking at the TV tapings here, going into WrestlePalooza, we got tonight, and we got 9/15 in Springfield. That's it. And then the match with Lesnar takes place on September 20th. Lesnar will be outside tonight. He was on tonight's show. September 12th and September 19th. So Lesnar, I pray to God, we get some sort of explanation as to why he's attacking John Cena. There needs to be some sort of explanation. Cena and Lesnar will not be on TV until we get to WrestlePalooza. Together. They will not be on TV together until we get to WrestlePalooza.
Hi, it's Sophia Vergara. I'm here because I want to tell you about my new favorite thing. No, it's not cake. I know, shocking, right? It's actually Royal Kingdom, the new puzzle game from the makers of Royal Match. The cake is a close second. You know why I love cake? It's sweet, satisfying, and never gets old. That's exactly how I feel about Royal Kingdom. It's the kind of game you just can't put down. It's fun, it's challenging, and it always leaves you wanting more. And you know what makes it even better? There are no ads to interrupt my fun, and you don't even need Wi-Fi to play. So, whether I'm playing in bed, on the couch, or in the kitchen with the cake, I'm covered. Cake, Royal Kingdom, a match made in heaven. Honestly, I'm living my best life over here. But if you excuse me, I've got a game to get back to. And before, maybe I'm just gonna take one more bite.
huge ovation. Cena said it meant a lot to him, especially coming from the Chicago crowd. He mentioned that when he started his farewell tour, he was told to enjoy it, but he was coming off a lot of bad years, so he fought hard to give great work so he could get his mojo back. He admitted that tonight he had nothing planned because tonight he just wanted to have fun. Cena acknowledged that his normal reaction in this town was usually the opposite. It's usually more like, fuck you, Cena. Cena claimed that we are in for one exciting night tonight and acknowledged that this would be his last appearance in Chicago and his last appearance on Smackdown. He viewed this as a beautiful moment because 23 years ago, he came down this very ramp and slapped Kurt Angle, which started an over 2-decade ride. He ran down some of the matches he had in this arena against Triple H, the US Open Challenges, and CM Punk, where CM Punk took the WWE Championship belt from John Cena and it ended up in Punk's refrigerator in this very city. Cena stated that Chicago is the best WWE crowd and that there are many debates backstage in the WWE locker room on what the greatest WWE crowd is. Cena, of course, said that was Chicago. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn's music hit when Cena thanked them and he was ready to leave. Cena stopped dead in his tracks as he was exiting the ring, stopped, and Sami Zayn came down the aisle. Sami Zayn's the new United States champion. He beat Solo Sikoa last week in the main event, whom we did not see tonight. A Friday night without the MFTs. Sounds good to me, bro. Sami Zayn got a strong reaction coming out. People were singing his song. As soon as the music died down and Sami Zayn got in the ring and stood face to face with John Cena, Sami Zayn got audibly booed in Chicago. Now, I don't know, between me and you, chat, I don't know what the deal is with Sami Zayn and why people are now indifferent to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's not the World Heavyweight Champion. He's not the WWE Champion. He's not going for either of the World Championships right now. I don't know what it is where fans tonight, maybe it's just a Chicago thing, maybe they didn't want Sami Zayn interrupting John Cena in his moment and they responded the only way they knew how. It's also something that I'm starting to see on social media. I don't understand where the Sami Zayn indifference is coming from. Maybe some of you in the chat can fill me in. Maybe it's something I don't really know or I'm not privy to. I don't know. I have no problem with Sami Zayn whatsoever. Maybe they wanted Lesnar. They wanted Lesnar in that spot. Sure. You got Brock Lesnar, though, which we'll get to in a little bit. Some of the chat says he's boring. He's kind of stagnant. Sammy sucks. Maybe they're all carrying Cross fans. Is it really Sami Zayn fatigue? I don't know if there is. Listen, you guys can feel fatigued on whatever you want to feel fatigued about. I don't feel any Sami Zayn fatigue. I don't think I've ever looked down on Sami Zayn. Maybe it is Sami Zayn fatigue. I don't know. I genuinely wonder if it has anything to do with his political affiliations on social media, because he's been someone that has been very open about what he's for and against on social media. I don't know. You gotta give him some credit, though. He doesn't really give a shit what people think, and he just expresses himself how he feels. There's gotta be some level of respect there. He's out there, he's getting booed. You could have seen that it bothered Sami Zayn just a little bit. He was actually taken aback by it. He was a little verklempt about it. He started talking and the crowd booed him even louder. Zayn said thank you to Cena on behalf of everyone in the back and for everything Cena did for him. Zayn reminded everyone that his first match on the WWE main roster was a United States Championship match against John Cena. Now he stands here as the United States Champion. Zayn told Cena he wanted to carry on Cena's tradition and start the Sami Zayn US Open Challenge. Cena thought that was a great idea, Thank you, Sammy, for coming up with that. You have my blessing. And he was ready to leave the ring again. He didn't even want to be in there. Sami Zayn said, no, don't leave so soon. Zayn said it would be his honor to give Cena the first shot at the United States Championship now that he beat Solo Sikoa last week. So the first opponent in the Sami Zayn US Open Challenge is John Cena, right here, right now, in Chicago. Zayn then told Cena, if you want some, come get some. The United States Championship has not felt important since the John Cena US Open Challenge, and that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, John Cena held the United States Championship and defended it up and down 2015. Some of the names that John Cena wrestled during the US Open Challenge, it was, honestly, from me, coming out of an era where John Cena was forced down our throats and coming off of everything that we've seen with Vince McMahon and top baby faces before him. Shawn Michaels. John Cena was the one that followed in the footsteps of Shawn Michaels, and he was nothing more than a modern day Hulk Hogan. That's what Vince McMahon was looking for. I could not stand it. Coming from the era in which I became a fan, and I loathe Hulk Hogan red and yellow. I couldn't stand it anymore. Started off loving it, he just grew to be indifferent towards it. So to see John Cena do the same thing, minus the yellow and red, I'm like, bro, I don't believe as an adult I gotta sit through this all over again. It's when he won the United States Championship, a lot of our eyes opened to how good John Cena really was. And a lot of that has to do with the people that he was actually in the ring with. See, the US Open Challenge, when John Cena did it, gave opportunities to guys that you would never in 1,000 lifetimes see in a ring with John Cena. It was almost forbidden because Vince McMahon would never allow it. Dean Ambrose. Stardust. You know who he is, right? Bad News Barrett, which I love and miss the gimmick of Bad News Barrett. I'm afraid I got some bad news. Kane, Rusev, Sami Zayn, Neville, and one that sticks out of every name on this list is Cesaro. Neville also sticks out as well. Zack Ryder was another one of them. Kevin Owens was one of them. That was at Battleground in 2015. Seth Rollins, him and Seth Rollins went back and forth, which was a great feud. Xavier Woods, Big E, Dolph Ziggler. He even wrestled Alberto Del Rio at Hell in a Cell in 2015, something I don't really even remember, nor do I care to go back to see Alberto Del Rio even wrestle. The US Open Challenge from John Cena was a very pivotal part of his career. One that I look on and look at it very fondly. So to see this happen tonight, in the way that they laid it out, it was a beautiful thing. It's John Cena's last Smackdown. He's simply there because it's his last time in Chicago. Chicago has some symbolism to John Cena. He debuted in Chicago. He is ending his career in Chicago here for the final Smackdown he will ever appear on. Sami Zayn is conveniently on this brand. He is conveniently the United States champion. I mean, it's just beautiful the way that it all was laid out tonight. So I have absolutely no problem with it. I know the sickos are probably complaining and clipping me. Oh, well, JD complained about Riho coming back on Wednesday. Where's the complaints, JD, from NY206? I don't know. Who the fuck wants to see Riho on television, you fucking fat ghoul? Give me a break. This was beautiful. And the match itself was fucking really good. I wish it wasn't fucking destroyed by constant commercial breaks. I feel like we got 3 commercial breaks in this fucking thing. Commercial after commercial after fucking commercial. This was a very good TV match. It went nearly 20 minutes. I have to reiterate this. Fuck The Rock! This guy gave us heel John Cena with no fucking follow-up. We got heel John Cena March, April, May, June, July. It took us legitimately a week before SummerSlam for this guy to say, you know what? Fuck this heel run. I'm over. I'm over it. John Cena has given us a match with Cody at SummerSlam, which was a fucking banger. A match with Logan Paul last weekend at Clash in Paris, which was a fucking banger. And a match here with Sami Zayn, which, in the TV realm, with commercial after fucking commercial, was also a TV banger. The last time John Cena wrestled on TV, he teamed with Cody Rhodes against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul coming out of SummerSlam, and the main event was riddled with commercial, and John Cena teamed with Cody Rhodes. It only went 4 minutes of TV time, and basically all we seen of John Cena was him hitting the 5 moves of doom. They went 20 minutes tonight for the United States title. I don't know how anybody has a problem with that. Cena and Zayn locked up in the middle of the ring. Zayn arm dragged John Cena. John Cena arm dragged Sami Zayn. Zayn attempted a springboard leapfrog. He missed and miscalculated, but after that, he clotheslined John Cena down to the ground. Zayn delivered a suplex on Cena, looked for another one. However, Cena countered Zayn with a suplex of his own. Zayn whipped Cena into the corner. Still getting booed, by the way, with Sami Zayn. Cena threw Zayn with a hard Irish whip into the other corner, and he flew into the corner. We go to a commercial break. We come back from the break. Zayn is being hoisted up by Cena for an AA. Sami Zayn escapes. Cena turns Zayn's attempt at a springboard move into a successful attitude adjustment. And as usual with his opponents, the first AA, everybody kicks out of. Sami kicked out. Zayn tried to hit an exploder suplex. And that got turned around into a Kevin Owens pop-up powerbomb by John Cena. It's cute that John Cena is paying homage to all the people that he will not be in the ring with during this final run. Paying homage to them by using their signature maneuvers. I actually quite like it. Both men struggled to get up in their opposite corners. Cena charged at Zayn, but missed, ended up hitting the corner. Zayn missed the haluva kick, and he was hit with an angle slam by John Cena. He got a 2 count off the angle slam. Both men get themselves up in the middle of the ring. We got the boo and yeah trading strike spot until they took one another down with clotheslines, and we go into a double down. We go into a second commercial break. During the commercial break, we got a picture-in-picture. Cena once again paid tribute to Kurt Angle with an ankle lock on Sami Zayn. He responded with an attitude adjustment on John Cena, so he hit one of his own. Cena kicked out, of course, of his own finish. Zayn hits a haluva kick on Cena. He gets a 2 count. Cena kicked out barely before the 3 count. Zayn dragged Cena to the middle of the ring. Before he headed up top, Cena got up quickly, hoisted Zayn up for a GTS. Ankle lock, GTS. He hits the pop-up powerbomb. He had a Styles Clash at Clash in Paris on Logan Paul. He had an End of Days on Logan Paul, which is Baron Corbin's move, one of the best finishers of the modern era. It got to a point where the fans in Chicago knew exactly what John Cena was doing, and they played into it. GTS wasn't enough to pin Sami Zayn. Cena sized Zayn up in the corner, and then he hits another signature move. Michael Cole called it the Roman Reigns spear, But if we can go off what we've been seeing so far, his greatest rival, or one of his greatest rivals, is not Roman Reigns. One of his greatest rivals is actually Edge. So this was more of a homage to Copeland than it was to Roman Reigns. He hits a spear. Very good one. Zayn kicked out. Crowd starts chanting for an RKO. John Cena sized Sami Zayn up for an RKO. Zayn counted that. He's seen it coming. He immediately put Zayn on the top rope. He looked for an avalanche AA. He hit the avalanche AA. Both men were down because he basically launched Sami Zayn 75% across the ring. So before he could go make the cover and ultimately win the United States Championship, Brock Lesnar's music interrupted. Lesnar looks as beastly as ever. Long hair, goatee, cowboy hat, ripped t-shirt. He looks like a fucking savage. He's out there, crowd erupts. He walks down the aisle. He pulls this poor schmuck referee out of the ring, which the bell didn't even ring to signal the end of the match. The referee was absolutely fucking destroyed here. Pulled him out. He gets in the ring. He hits an F5 on Sami Zayn. He put Cena on his shoulders and delivered not one, but two F5.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, they don't get better. But I'm a bestseller. Get it, girl.
Do you need to get rid of bulky, unwanted items like old furniture, a used grill, or even a garage full of stuff? Book LoadUp, the easiest way to get rid of anything. As the largest provider network in the U.S., we're everywhere your junk is, with rates up to 30% cheaper than our competitors. Plus, we provide furniture assembly. Visit GoLoadUp.com to book removal and disposal with guaranteed upfront pricing. LoadUp, the modern junk removal company.
I think everybody anticipated when this match was made, and it being for the United States Championship, that Brock Lesnar was about to come on out and cause a no contest here or a DQ. And that's exactly what we got. I don't mind that we get a Lesnar appearance, because it made sense. The match was made. September 20th. It is now official. Lesnar, Cena, Indianapolis, WrestlePalooza. We have 2 weeks left. We have 2 appearances for Brock Lesnar, which are advertised to be September 12th and September 19th. And then WrestlePalooza happens the next day on Saturday, September 20th. Him and Cena is official. We have yet now, in 2 Brock Lesnar appearances. SummerSlam, he shows up out of nowhere and F5s him. Tonight, he shows up and delivers 2 F5s to Cena. We have yet to get a explanation or a reason why Lesnar has targeted John Cena. I make fun of AEW for this very thing. And I called it out every single week for 4 fucking months when Brock Lesnar feuded with Cody Rhodes after he lost to Roman Reigns the first time at WrestleMania. Do we ever know, or did we ever know rather? Did we ever find out, or did we ever know why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes? They feuded for 3 straight PLEs and 4 straight months. We never got one single fucking explanation. And for months and months and months and months, I had WWE elitists tell me, oh, Brock Lesnar just comes and does what he wants. We don't need an explanation. Motherfucker, if something like this happened on your favorite television show, and we got from point A to point B with no explanation, wouldn't you be doing the same thing and asking, why? Tony Khan does this every single fucking week, and I ask, why? Riho! Who? Riho! Riho came out on Wednesday and attacked Mercedes Moné. She held up the TBS title, looked at it, and we got a graphic for All Out. Mercedes defends against Riho at the pay-per-view. you care on explaining to me why? Or am I supposed to fabricate some weird fucking storyline to plug in because you refuse to give me one? 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks to give me a fucking reason. Lesnar can speak for himself. I know the man's got a voice. 2 weeks. You need to give us a reason as to why he attacked John Cena. I don't give a shit what it is. But for being gone for 2 years, for you to show up now, I think you owe us all an explanation. I'm not even speaking about Brock. I'm speaking about the fucking people that write this shit. 2 weeks. Give me a reason of why. It could be something as simple as John Cena's last year. I'm not going to let you walk away without me ending you first. That's it. That's it. I don't need to fabricate what Brock Lesnar's thinking because they refuse to tell me. It's your job. It's your job to write and your job to tell me and your job to portray that to the viewer watching at home. Any questions? This was a great match. Cena's doing the best work, basically, that we've seen of him in 10 years. Fucking great. Makes me wish that he honestly was not retiring if this is what we're getting from John Cena. But you can see that through his actions, John Cena hated being a fucking heel. And everything that was said about John Cena, he just goes with the flow, he rolls with the punches. He does exactly what he is asked to do, and he asks no questions back. You can tell that's the way he operates. And he hated his fucking heel run. The way he's wrestling now, you just know he hated everything about March, April, May, June, and July. He hated those 5 months. I'm just glad that we're actually getting the best version of John Cena that we possibly could be getting right now before he says goodbye. Great shit. This was a great open to the show. The Lesnar appearance made sense. WrestlePalooza with Cena and Lesnar now official, and Sami Zayn got one hell of a match out of John Cena. Backstage, Nick Aldis. He wanted to address what was going on with Brock Lesnar showing up on Smackdown. We did not see Nick Aldis for the rest of the show. Carmelo Hayes walked up to Nick Aldis, though. He wanted a United States Championship match because now we have a U.S. Open challenge. If you're going to give me Sami Zayn and Carmelo Hayes, man, inject it into my blood. That's going to be awesome. The Miz interrupted Carmelo Hayes again. He tried to get a WWE Tag Team title match for him and Melo against the Wyatt Six. Aldis wanted nothing to do with this conversation right now. And Aldis says, listen, I have other things to attend to. I will take it under advisement. And he walked off. Carmelo did not seem unhappy with The Miz speaking on his behalf again. Miz told him to be happy. I just got us a tag team title match, potentially. Melo said, I didn't want a tag team title match. I wanted a U.S. title match. Sami's got a U.S. Open challenge. I didn't want this match. So they're still selling the tension between Melo to Miz, and Miz not really paying attention to what Melo is feeling. Damian Priest. He went one-on-one with Aleister Black. This was a match a few weeks in the making here. This was supposed to happen, I believe, last week. And it did not happen. Tonight in Chicago, we got it. Nothing really crazy to write home about here. This was a fine TV match. Nothing more, nothing less. Priest made his entrance. Black attacked Priest during his entrance. And it actually turned into a brawl before the bell rang, with Aleister Black getting the advantage over Damian Priest. He drove him into the barricade, and we go into a commercial break with Damian Priest being beaten up before the match officially starts. So Priest walked his way back into the ring. He got kicked in the head by Black. Both guys are in the ring. Match began. Bell rings. Priest missed the punch. He was loopy and completely out of it. Black took over with another kick. Priest recovered with a surprise headbutt to Black out of nowhere. He comes back with a modified crucifix submission hold on Damian Priest. Black took Priest down with a top rope Meteora for a 2 count, and we go into another commercial. We just got back from a commercial, and we go right into a commercial. Why Black and Priest needs 2 commercials, I don't fucking know. Come back from the commercial, Priest and Black. They're on the top rope. Priest had Black stunned, hoisted high up for a razor's edge. Black escaped, spinning back elbow, followed by a running knee, covers Damian for a near fall. Priest struck Black from the corner with a pair of elbows of his own, followed by a wicked clothesline. Priest maintained some offense here with some elbows, and that left Aleister Black in trouble. He goes up top, he kind of pays homage to The Undertaker with this ugly-looking old school move. I don't know why he does the crossbody. It looks so ineffective. I don't understand. You could do old school, but if you're going to do old school, do old school. He tries to do old school and tries to make it a little different in this match. I get what you're trying to do, but it's so not impactful. I don't even know why he bothered does it, to do it. I don't really get it.
Well, might will end the video. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see y'all later.